Hey, what's up? And yes, I'm still here at E3 in Los Angeles, and I'm going to give you a very, very awesome sneak peek of Espire 1. Roll the trailer.
Deploy these cutting-edge espionage units on assignments around the globe. How you approach each mission is up to you. Just be sure to complete your objectives and make the most of Espire 1's abilities.
Freeze.
Together, we will redefine espionage.
Yeah, I know. That trailer gets me every time. So let's play it now and give it a try. Here we go.
Looks like our back door worked. Cradle doors are jammed. Agent, use the emergency handle to open them.
So this is Espire 1 VR Operative as shown at E3.
Agent, you're now commandeering a prototype Alpha Espire unit. No bells and whistles on this one.
My name's Michael Wentworth Bell. I'm the game director of Espire 1.
And I'm Nick Acharito, the production manager.
So Espire is a stealth action shooter inspired by our favourite games growing up. Games like Metal Gear, Deus Ex, and Metal Gear Solid.
And we've tried to recreate those sort of classic stealth mechanics that we loved playing growing up, but in VR.
It's not automatic. Pull the piston back to ready another dart. You'll need to reload
So you see here that the player's weapon in this segment is a tranquilizer dart gun. It's gas powered, so every time you fire it, you've got to pull the piston back to prime up the next shot.
Looks like the only way out is up.
And here you can see Nathie's got a scale model of the Espire Model 1 robot that you're in fact controlling. This is the Espire laboratory and we've remotely jacked into it, and so we're now possessing it. The idea of the game is that we stand in a holodeck style environment that matches your VR playing space, and that every movement you make is translated to this drone of the future, the Espire Model 1. You can see here a few of the other robots.
Agent, grab any metal surface or any edge to climb. Espire's hands are full of high-powered actuators and electromagnets. Clench your fists to grab anything metal and climb out of this area. When you're at the top, push the edge down to your waist and the unit will vault
The
up.
Espire robot has a number of abilities, and one of them is climbing. With electromagnets on its hands, it can climb any surface that is metallic.
You should be heading through these offices for the next appointment.
The old stomping ground.
I can't believe they left it all like this.
Agent, pick your battles carefully. You can get your hands dirty with your weapon or your fists, but you can also just sneak past. Might be less risky.
Nathie here is using a technique called Espire Vision. When you raise your empty hand to your head and pull the trigger, you'll see any threat within a 20-meter radius. Here's a deactivated Espire. When an Espire robot's destroyed, it remains in place and you're forced to possess another one if you have any left. Gameplay continues and then you have to move forward.
Unit, we've lost CCTV.
We have a feature called Espire Instinct,
Please investigate.
inspired by Max Payne's bullet time effect, which automatically kicks in when a guard sees you. However, once you get the correct upgrade, the Espire robot can use this at any time. There are a number of threats such as cameras and trip mines, and if you destroy them, people will check in.
All right.
When you hold up a guard, you have a few options. You can steal their weapon, you can punch them out. Just be sure to hide the body if you want to remain undetected.
We've tried to create a sort of sandbox style environment for the game with each of the environments we've created. So there's a variety of options whether you decide to take the stealth route or run and gun approach. But if you run and gun, there'll be trade-offs where strike teams are called in to defeat you.
In Espire, if you are successful in doing stealth takedowns, you're rewarded in your end of game expenditure. Every action you do with the robot has a cost. So if you can silently take down guards and also hide the mess you make, then it's going to be cheaper for the Australian government. In Espire, when you knock out enemies, they remain stunned and they won't wake up for minutes at a time. However, if they're found by another guard, then they'll be woken up and sound the alarm.
Looks like the only way out is up.
If you leave behind a dead body, then things get much worse and they sound a high-level base alarm.
To keep track of enemies in the area, raise your hand to your head and pull the trigger.
Boss says this might be the place. If you find the payload, call it in straight away. CO will check in on the corner.
In this area, your objective is to get to the gantry at the other end of the room so that you can find a way to get into the mess hall.
Agent, the main shutter door is locked. To open
there's a few options. You could take the overhead walkways. You could try and go straight through. There's underground vent system, or you've got your zipline option.
Patrolling the area. Resuming my patrol.
If enemies hear a sound, they will try to run away and sound an alarm. You have a Espire Instinct bullet time feature that you can invoke at any time.
Command, we have an intruder in the area. Awaiting instructions. Over.
All units, we have hostiles in the area. Begin a sweep.
Stay calm and lose your attackers, or take them down.
Possible situation. Check on the silent unit. All units. The unidentified hostile remains at large. Return to your post.
You've evaded capture. Lie low. They'll be on the lookout.
With Espire, our core focus is player volition, so you can play the game stealth, or you can play the game action, but the game's never going to end if you get detected. So we hope that while you're playing, if you have any problems, if the guard spots you, that you can adapt and play on and use the Espire's abilities and the game's mechanics to try and overcome the game's threats. In this segment of the game, your objective is to try and find a way to the mess hall, and this lever will open up roller door which will give maintenance access.
Command, evidence here of an intruder. Unit found unconscious.
Guards have been called in, but they've seen the stunned bodies and have now called in backup. If you leave an enemy stunned, then guards will wake up the stunned enemies. However, if you try to eliminate an enemy and guards find a dead body, then they'll call in armored strike teams.
The enemy is moving in on your position. Get out of there, Agent.
Espire has a repair tool, like a taser, and when the Espire takes damage, you need to use your repair tool to repair the impact points on your body. However, you can also use it to send a 35,000 volt electric shock to guards. The problem is that Espire has limited charge, and so if you've used it to slow down time with Espire Instinct or to look through walls with Espire Vision, you may not have enough charge level left yet. You may not have enough charge level left to repair. We think the repair mechanic is pretty unique and exciting because an advanced player may learn to be able to repair while they run and gun or while they move around the base. It's a repair mechanic that actually uses your body to move around. The Espire robot also has hand cams, one on each hand, and you can use the hand cams to actually tag enemies to keep track of them.
Be careful, the enemy is going to be much more vigilant.
Attention all units, we have a critical security breach.
Find somewhere to hide.
Eliminate any intruder.
Those radio signals, something's not right.
Dector?
All units.
If you get spotted by an enemy, all your Espire charge is drained in order to give you a forced Espire Instinct, so to allow you to try and slow down time and react. As a penalty then, you won't be able to repair or use Espire Vision for a few seconds after being spotted. And you'll need to wait for your Espire charge bar to renew. And this is one of the game's other non-human threats. It's called a tongue, and it acts as a spotter for the larger Jacobson drone, one of the game's bosses. Now, the Jacobson drone is blind and relies on its tongues in order to see. However, you can defeat the tongues and the drone becomes defenseless until it can 3D print some more. And this is Espire.
Glad we recorded that.
At the end of each mission you have a ledger of how expensive the mission cost you or cost the Australian government. In this case it was $88,000. So the idea is to try and compete for the lowest expenditure or the shortest time. Now, getting the shortest time may mean all guns blazing, which would be very expensive. That's why we have a third category combined where you have to get the lowest time and the lowest expenditure in order to reach the top of the leaderboard. So the game's campaign missions and its virtual challenges each have 3 leaderboards to compete on.
And that was an action-packed sneak peek of Espire 1. What a title. This was my best game of E3 for sure, and I think it's even one of the coolest games of 2019. It's going to come out soon. It will be available on the Quest, the PlayStation VR, Vive, Rift, and more, so stay tuned. I will make sure there are a bunch of links in the description below if you are interested, and I also want to give a big shout out to Tripwire Interactive for giving me the opportunity to not only play it but also show it off on the channel. It's a truly unique opportunity because there weren't that many people at E3 that were allowed to play Espire 1. So yes, much appreciated, and meeting the developers was a pleasure too, of course. Finally meeting the faces behind this title was so sweet, and letting them do a commentary was a huge honor. So yes, this was a lovely collaboration for sure. If you have any questions, be sure to drop them in the comments below, and also slam a like on this video. That would be nice. And now it's time for me to, well, as always, sign off, and as I always say, and I see you all next time. See you in the metaverse. And my days. California is a beautiful state. Look at this.